far beneath the waves. In the vast, silent world of the deep, the ocean seemed utterly calm. But even in that profound stillness, something stirred. A sleek, gray shadow moved with deadly precision. A shark, gliding like a living blade through the water. Its eyes were cold, ancient, and endlessly searching. Every powerful flick of its tail sent ripples spreading out into the deep, a silent announcement of its presence for the smaller fish darting in the coral cities below. This was the unmistakable sign of death approaching, a signal to scatter and hide. But tonight, the shark was not hunting for small prey. An unusual restlessness coursed through it, a feeling it hadn't known in a long time. It was as if an invisible current was pulling it, drawing it, towards something much, much bigger. Something unknown. And then, it happened. The water itself began to vibrate with a deep, rolling sound. A low, resonant hum that felt less like hearing and more like the beating of a distant, colossal drum. The shark slowed its relentless patrol, its streamlined body becoming tense with anticipation. Something enormous was rising from the crushing darkness below. Slowly, the sea around the shark seemed to shift and part. A gigantic form began to emerge, breaking through the deep blue shadows like a rising continent. It was not a rival shark, nor any creature the shark had ever challenged before. It was the true, undisputed giant of the deeper, magnificent whale. The shark began to circle, its movements filled with a mixture of predatory curiosity and instinctual caution. The whale, in contrast, moved with a serene and immense power. Each gentle, deliberate movement of its massive fluke created waves that pushed the shark back, a silent display of effortless strength. The contrast between them was breathtaking. One was a ruthless, finely tuned predator, all sharp angles and blinding speed. The other was a towering, ancient force of nature, silent, graceful, yet utterly unshakable. For a long, suspended moment, their eyes met across the water. In that instant, it felt as though the entire ocean held its breath. Was this the prelude to a legendary battle? A clash of titans? Would the shark's razor-sharp teeth test themselves against the whale's unstoppable, colossal strengths? The ocean waited. Driven by an impulse it couldn't control, the shark edged closer, its muscles coiled, ready to strike. But the whale remained unmoved. Instead of aggression, it released a long, echoing call that traveled far into the endless darkness, a sound filled with ancient wisdom and sorrow. But this sound wasn't just a warning, it felt like a signal, a summons. And that's when the shark felt it. A definitive change. The currents around them began to shift again. But this time, it was different. The water grew heavier, darker, as if another, even greater presence was approaching from the abyss. Something unseen. Something profoundly dangerous. The whale turned its massive head slightly. It's great, I fixed on the darkness, almost as if it were listening intently to a secret only it could hear. The shark froze mid-motion, every one of its heightened senses screaming in alarm. And then out of absolutely nowhere, flicker of impossible movement darted past them in the deep shadows. It was fast. Impossibly fast. Too fast to even register, let alone identify. The shark spun around, its body tense like a drawn bow, but the shadows had already swallowed the fleeting figure, leaving no trace. The whale remained perfectly still, its posture calm but deeply watchful, as though it already knew what was coming. It had been expecting this. The ocean was no longer silent. The deep groaned and shifted, the water churning, as if the sea itself was preparing for a terrible, hidden storm. The question lingered in the dark water. Was this ever truly a fight between a shark and a whale, or had they both been drawn together? Two ancient forces meeting at the precipice of something far more terrifying. One thing was absolutely certain: the story of this ocean, this deep, dark mystery, was only just beginning. to discover what happens next in this mysterious and thrilling encounter. You won't want to miss part 2. And remember, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now and hit that notification bell so you never miss the next thrilling chapter of this incredible ocean tale. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the deep.